This is not a video on how to become a tattoo apprentice. This is an informative look at something that I did when it came to actually having an apprentice. So, my name is Mason. I am owner and tattoo artist here at the Hive, Salt Lake City. This is my shop. This is a loose account on how I went about and my thought processes in taking on an apprentice, or a junior, if you want to call it, a tattoo junior. So I was left with much interest. I was left with a lot of interest on several different people coming to me seeking apprenticeships. A lot of them I did not know. I guess when you open up a shop and you have a space and you're looking for artists, people are going to come looking for you because they want you to teach them. As a shop owner, I had a responsibility. I had to learn how to vet each person that came through, figure out, would they mesh with me? Are they teachable? Do they have any talent? Like, honestly, you actually should put that one first. Are they talented? But I didn't. There was a lot of other things that I looked at. I talked to a lot of friends of mine who are also business owners, who also own tattoo shops and have apprenticed people before. Most of them had horror stories. That's because it is a pain in the ass. So I started looking up more online to try to figure out how it all worked. I found books on how to become an apprentice. I found numerous YouTube videos on how to become an apprentice. I found an ungodly amount of articles written, maybe for bait click stuff, I have no idea, on how to become an apprentice. They were useless. It was horrible. I don't know if I have different parameters or what I look for, if I'm completely off the mark. It made me worry a little bit. But after talking to some friends in more detail and telling them what my circumstances were, I learned that I wasn't off. And I have real sincere reasons for wanting to teach somebody how to tattoo. Apprentice process. Interesting, because it'd seem like I know a lot about what I'm doing, but I don't. Each instance brings a whole new set of problems that I don't think you could have a written format for. So overall, my belief is I'm bringing somebody into this world of tattooing that I respect, that I trust, and that I want others to respect and trust. I am building them up, giving them confidence, while also tasking them to rip themselves apart. And that covers artistically, it covers their work ethic, it covers all things. So I say it broadly. We have a responsibility as being a teacher to give our students the best information that we can, or set them on the best journey that we can to they really develop something that is meaningful to them, and then they can share it. Because not only are we teaching them an art form, tattooing, but we're teaching them the craft, the business side of things, and we're making a creative person find production and value in what they're doing. It's so difficult. We've all had parents that were nervous for us if we were going to get into an artistic endeavor and become a working artist, because it's not easy. Musicians, there's more that just don't make it, or make it halfway, than become the Rolling Stones. The odds are against you. So when I take somebody on that I really want to develop into a working craftsman, potentially an artist, somebody that moves and shakes, I don't want them spending most of their time sweeping and mopping my shop. I don't find any value in that. You show up, you do it. It needs to be done. There's nothing against those that sweep and mop, but I'd rather have them drawing all the time. I'd rather have them picking apart images, works of art, old tattoos that other people did. Tell me why they're good. Tell me why they're not good. Let's have serious conversations about it. Let's really get a critical eye, because they're going to apply that to their own work. I want them to interact with other artists so that they know how to bond with them. They know how to play off of somebody else that's artistic. It's a solo endeavor most of the time when you become a tattoo artist. You're the only one doing the tattoo. But working around other artists and working in a shop is the best thing you could possibly imagine. So I want them to get good at it. I want them to be comfortable with people that aren't comfortable with it. I want them to be encouraging to people who are shy when they want to share their work. I don't want them to be shy about sharing what they have. I've seen too many shops where everybody is their own island and nobody works together. And you've got some of the most creative people under one roof and they're not doing anything about it together. It blows my mind. So my baseline is to create artists that work really well with other artists, with one another. And that translates into clients, because some of your clients, they may be really talented artists in their own right. They just don't do tattoos. You can't come in there like you're the end all be all. So I teach my artists to be humble. I teach them to work really well creatively with their clients to draw out the best intent that they can get. I'm also making sure that I work with my apprentices or the juniors to value their own personal style. I've had many apprentices come in and show me their work, and they show me these roses that they draw. I can't stand it. The roses are shit. And then I say, why are you drawing me these roses when all your other images look amazing? They've got so much integrity to them. They got so much interest in these roses, or they look like melted pieces of bologna. I don't get it. And they go, well, I thought because I wanted to be a tattoo artist, I had to draw roses. I was like, fuck, I didn't know there was a list of things that needed to get done, and that be it one of them. Don't do it. If you don't want to draw roses, don't do it. Draw what you want to draw. We got too many guys that do roses amazing. They love it. Let them do it. You want to draw something a little different, quirky, and expresses your personality, and you really want to dig into that, and then somebody tells you not to, and you got to draw something else that has no meaning to you, don't trust that person. That person's full of shit. Draw what you want to draw. Push yourself forward. Put yourself around people that encourage, even though they don't understand what you're up to, that encourage you to draw more of who you are. Now, that's advice to apprentices. And I said this wasn't about how to become an apprentice. So I guess I need to retract a little bit and start talking to people that are apprenticing these guys and remind them, your job is to bring out the best quality in the people that you're educating, the people that you're having join our tribe and become part of this amazing thing that has allowed me and numerous other people to travel the world, live in different cultures, pursue interests that, like we said, our parents maybe never thought that we could do. A lot of us didn't have that support. This is an amazing opportunity to become a tattoo artist. So if you have an apprentice, encourage them to be who they really are. Don't get nervous if they show talent that you've never had. Don't hold them back. Push them forward more. Aspire to have them be better than who you are in far less amount of time. Doesn't mean it takes anything away from you. You've only added to what tattooing is as a whole, and that means we're all gonna come up together because you have helped bring in somebody and showcase their talent and made tattooing just go, we just gotta keep raising that bar and just keep getting it bigger and bigger. So it's a little bit towards the apprentices to hang on and be who you really are, and don't get scared of being turned down, but it's also to remind all of us that are teaching these young, talented individuals to be who they are, because secretly we all wish that we could be a little bit more who we truly are, and we wish that we would find acceptance in that. So a normal day for us is breaking out the sketchbooks. We take a look at what they had drawn. My guys, my girls, whoever I have underneath me are not going to be afraid to show me what they have going on. They're going to feel strongly about what they're drawing, and we're going to make sure we encourage more of that to get it out. And then you might ask, well, how do you get them clients? What do you do when you have an apprentice, and how do you find them business? Because as a business owner and an employing somebody, it's your responsibility to put food in that person's mouth, to make sure that they have a survivable means of income. I think through some of the social media outlets that we have now and encouraging the apprentice to do what they do best, they're going to create their audience. And it's probably one that you never saw coming. And encourage them to interact with them. Have people look at what they're doing. All of a sudden, there's going to be people requesting their drawings, their images, or having a piece from that person. It will come. It's going to take time. It's a lot of heavy lifting in the beginning. I wouldn't stress it too much. Some shops have the ability to have walk-ins, and they'll hand those to the apprentices. The apprentice's chance and opportunity right now is to sit down with that walk-in, see what they want to do. Hopefully they've learned from you how to interact, how to talk to the client, and maybe they can add a little bit of themselves into it. If not, and they have to do the standard flash style tattoo, that's fine. Your apprentice should be ready with the materials that they need. Cards, stickers, some type of personality that they can give the person, even though they did a tattoo that's very standard, flash, they should have a little bit of themselves leaving with that person too, and create that memory. As a shop owner, reach back out to those clients that got tattooed by your apprentices. Maybe they're in their first year, so you don't call them an apprentice per se, they're tattooing, they're tattooers. Reach back out to that client that the tattooer, the junior tattooer, just did. Ask them how the experience was. How can you improve it? Interact with your clients. Get to know what happened. You may not be there floating over this person while they're doing their tattoo in that first year, where they're still kind of getting their feet underneath them. They're good, but they're not great. They're not the best at the shop at this time. There's a lot to be improved upon. You can't be there the whole time. Reach back out, talk to the client, see what you can improve on. Take notes. It's your job to do this. Get back with your apprentice, talk to them about it, and see maybe where they missed the mark. How could they get better? Where could they improve upon it? You are going to create a lifelong companionship with this person by helping them give this gift of tattooing. You should be there for every moment of growth and be very supportive. I think putting people down through this process is not how they get better. Tiny, tiny little footsteps of confidence. You don't have to over pander them, but let them know when they're doing a good job. Sincerely, tell them that it is. When they're not doing a good job, tell them how you could fix it. They're not going to get better without your help. And you can't just put your hands up and say, well, it's out of my hands now, I can't do anything about it. You took this person on, it's your responsibility. So that is a brief overview of how I look at the apprenticeship. Of course, there's more details about it, but I think that kind of sums up some of what I think about the process. With all that being said, I offer this. I'm not perfect. I don't know. I've got the best intentions behind me and what I want to do. So if there is people out there that are or have taken on apprentices, I'd love to hear from you. Please tell me your horror stories. Let's all have a powwow and talk about it. Let's get better at it. Let's get better at being better mentors and teachers. Let's encourage things through positivity and a real seriousness and a passion for what it is that we love. Let's be okay with letting people pass us and get better. This art form is evolving, it's changing. When I got my start 20 years ago, we didn't get the opportunity to access all the images that are on computers and the internet now. We had hardbound books. Every week, we'd be at Barnes & Noble's buying up whatever we can. Other bookstores picking up discounted books on anatomy. And we loved it. We ate it up. Things are really easy right now, and people feel that they can be self-taught, and they can go on YouTube and they can pick things up. They can go over here and pick things up. That's fine. Maybe we should all get together and chat a little bit more about it. I'd love to hear some of the questions that everyone has. If I can't answer them, I'm going to reach out and try to talk to friends of mine that I think might have better answers, and maybe we'll hear from them. Apprentices, if you're an active apprentice and you're working right now and you feel like everything is really difficult and it's hard and you don't think you need to go through that, you do. It is difficult. It is hard. If you feel that you're getting mistreated and you feel like you can't act up and tell somebody that that's wrong, do it. Let them know. If you're fearful that you may lose your apprenticeship, but you don't feel that you're getting treated fairly as a human, take a strong, hard look at it. Talk to some of your peers. Talk to other tattoo artists. See what they think. Maybe you are getting mistreated, all right? Don't be afraid. I got turned down several times before I ever got my apprenticeship. I got my original apprenticeship, worked on it, left it. It wasn't enough. Searched out through other mentors, which I feel is like my second, third, and fourth apprenticeship. Now that I own a shop, I'm going through a whole nother apprenticeship where I speak to my peers that have been running shops for 10, 15 years. We never stop learning. So again, those that are apprenticing people and being mentors, if you've got questions, let me know. Apprentices, if you feel that things are going really hard and it's tough and you don't know who to talk about it, hit me up. We won't mention your names. We won't get you in trouble. Maybe we can find a solution for you. But we're only going to get better through working together. So have a good one.